Two LA deputies are being investigated after using excessive force on a woman. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am Amina G.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It, where we give it to you raw and uncut. The podcast show where we speak what's on our mind. Now here's your host, Amina G.
Two LA deputies are being investigated after use of force on an unarmed black man and woman. Police were called to a store in LA by store employees, said Sheriff Robert Luna, who spoke out about the incident that took place in Lancaster, California, where two officers used excessive force on a black woman while trying to detain her. Now, police arrived on the scene and approached the black man that was sitting on a rock. They ordered the man to the ground. The man asked the officers what he had done and why he was being arrested. And the officer said that he was not being arrested, but he was being detained. The man asked the officer what he was being detained for and that he hadn't done anything wrong. The officer told the man that they didn't know that and to turn around and place his hands behind his back. I'm going to show a clip and then come right back.
I don't have nothing.
Okay, relax. We don't know that.
Man, I don't have nothing.
Okay, we're just going to
pack a cigarette. See, there go this. Now what? I'm not even being resistant. Boss, why y'all doing all this?
Dude, relax.
This is them trying to put the man in handcuffs. Now, I'm going to play it again. If you notice, one of the cops said to the man, dude, relax or you're going to get taken down. What was that for? Because I don't see him fighting or jerking away or running away or any of that. So why would he be told that he's going to be taken down? So let's look at this clip again.
I don't have nothing.
Okay, relax. We don't know that.
Man, I don't have nothing.
Okay, we're just going to
pack a cigarette. See, there go this. Now what? I'm not even being resistant. Boss, why y'all doing all this?
Dude, relax. Or you're going to
That
get
man
put
was
down.
threatening me, man.
Dude, relax or you're going to get put down. That's what he told him. Now, at this point, the lady was a couple of feet away from the man and the officers. She was a couple of feet away from the officers and the man that they were trying to put the handcuffs on. Now, when the officer finally got the handcuffs on the man, one of the officers walked towards the woman. And that's when all hell broke loose. For one thing, you hear me saying the man and the woman and the officers is because the Lancaster Police Department has not released any of the names of the parties that were involved in this incident. No names have been released as of yet. Okay, so moving forward. As I said, one of the officers walked towards this lady, and that's when all hell broke loose. It appeared that the officer was upset because the woman was recording them. He was very aggressive with her from the start. He approached the woman and tried to take her cell phone from her. And when the woman said to the officers, "You can't touch me, don't touch me," the officer yelled, "Get down on the ground," and I'm going to show the video from there. This is the first video. I have a couple of videos. I'm going to show two videos back to back from different angles, okay? This is the first video. 1 second.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's show that again because it's kind of short. It's very quick. That was the officer slamming the lady down to the ground with excessive force so hard that someone that was in their car screamed out, "Oh no." He slammed her with such force. It was terrible. Really was. Okay, this is from the other angle of the slamming of the lady to the ground with excessive force.
Oh, you can't touch me. You can't touch me.
Get down on the ground. Get on the ground.
It's already on YouTube.
Stop.
Live.
I don't give. Stop.
I
Turn
got it
around.
on camera. Get your neck off my. I can't breathe.
Hey, we're in a fight at the
I can't
window.
breathe. There's no fight. You threw me down to the ground. You threw me down.
He appears to be spraying her in the face with mace. That's the second officer.
Stop twisting my arm.
Put your hands behind your back.
Call the commander.
She's asking for a commander. And when she asks for that commander, they should call the commander. I'm going to play it again.
Oh, you can't touch me. You can't touch me.
Get down on the ground. Get on the ground.
It's already on YouTube.
Stop.
Live.
If you look, the second officer comes up and he begins to spray her in the face
Hey, we're in
with
a fight at
mace.
the
I can't
window.
breathe. There's no fight. You threw me down to the ground. You threw me down.
You see, he's spraying her in the face with mace.
Hands behind your
Call the
back.
commander. Stop twisting my arm.
Put your hands behind your back.
Call the commander.
Okay, so she's asking for a commander to be called, but I'm not sure if they call the commander or not. They continued to tell her to get down on the ground and put her hands behind her back, pushing her, grabbing her before slamming her to the ground. Now, while she was on the ground, as you've seen, the officer was spraying her in the face with mace. I'm going to play another clip where the officer told her that he was going to punch her in the face. Okay, give me 1 second.
Stop. You're gonna get punched in the face.
You punch me and you're gonna get sued.
As the woman.
As you've seen or heard and seen, the officer told her that stop or you're going to get punched in the face. Let me play it again.
Stop. You're gonna get punched in the
You
face.
punch me and you're gonna get sued.
As the woman.
So the lady told the officer if he punched her in the face that she was going to sue him. This is terrible. I mean, it's really, really hard to even watch this video. I mean, things are really getting out of control. They are. These officers slammed her to the ground with such force you could hear her screaming out. The officers kept yelling, as I said, and pushing her and telling her to put her hands behind her back, spraying her in the face with mace, pepper spray. This is crazy. It's like they're trying to take us back to slavery days, especially in the South. Every time one of these law-abiding officers that took the oath to protect the public, the communities, the people, whenever they have an encounter with a Black person, this seems to always be the outcome. They do the most with Black people and brown people. They shoot us, they kill us, they pepper spray us, they beat us, they paralyze us, and then they lie on us and say that we were the aggressor. When the video clearly shows it all. And still, most of the time, nothing is ever done unless we have to protest. But I still think a lot for video cameras and cell phones, because without it, we don't even stand a chance. We barely stand a chance with it. The video, just imagine if we didn't have a video. We'd be in a world of trouble worse than what we are now.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G.
He pepper sprayed her in the face and manhandled her while she was already down on the ground, screaming and yelling and asking for a commander to be called. I'm not sure if a commander ever made it on the scene, but he didn't care. The man that was already in handcuffs also told the officers that the lady was sick and had cancer. As you can see, she had very little hair. So he said that she has cancer. But still, the officers didn't care. They continued to manhandle her and use excessive force. I have to be very honest. This video makes me mad as hell. And anybody that watches this video and doesn't feel any type of anything has no heart and no feelings. I don't care what color you are. Uh, Say whatever you want to say about the video. That the video doesn't show all sides of the story, because I've heard that from supposed to be analyzers. We can't go on what we're seeing because the video doesn't show all sides of the stories, and it doesn't show everything that happened before. Let me tell you this, that's a bunch of BS. And a lot of it shows enough. It shows the excessive use of force that was not necessary. It shows a woman being sprayed in her face. That was not necessary with pepper spray. It shows a lady being thrown to the ground with such force. That wasn't necessary. Like she was a big man that had to be taken down. To me, it showed enough. It showed me all that I needed to see. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? What happened to respect for the human race? I mean, these officers just pull up on a scene, and right away they're pepper spraying you, they're shooting you, they're killing you, they're beating you, they're placing you in chokeholds, they're putting their knee in your neck, and it's always black, the black community. Why? Why is that? Why is it always the black community that only gets treated in such manner when they have an encounter with a police officer? It could be for the smallest offense, a parking ticket, a parking violation, anything small, and it always ends up like this. Because I can assure you that if that was a white person, that what we seen a few minutes ago would never have happened. I don't care how aggressive they were acting. That would not have happened. And I don't care. On Let's Talk About It, I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut, whether you like it or not. If it was a black person, a white person, it would never have happened. Only in America that black people are treated in such manner the most. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old. It doesn't matter. If your skin color is black or brown, you got problems. And that's the fact.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G.
Now, this has sparked a lot of attention from the community activists who want to see justice for this lady, and rightfully so. I want to see justice for her. And the two officers that were involved in this incident, they want to see justice for this lady, and they want to see the two officers that were involved, they want to see them fired, terminated. These officers had no regards for her life, none whatsoever. Even after they heard the man tell them that this lady is sick with cancer, they didn't care. The officer still proceeded to spray her in her eyes and face with pepper spray and tell her that she was going to get punched in her face. And he had his knee in the back of her neck. So they didn't care. They didn't have any regards for her life whatsoever. She was just another black body that meant nothing to them. The two deputies involved in this incident have been taken out of the field and put on administrative leave. And let me just say this, I really, really hope that it's without pay, because they're always placing them on administrative leave. I talked about this in my other podcast show with pay. No, they don't deserve pay. Once the investigation is done and if it's found that there was no foul play, then you get retro pay. But until the investigation is done, you don't get pay. I'm sorry, you just don't.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G.
Now, the male has been charged with resisting arrest and delaying an officer's job, along with a whole other slew of nonsense charges. The woman had to be treated at a nearby hospital after being slammed by the officer to the ground and pepper sprayed in her face. She complained of pain in her eye and sustained several abrasions to the arm. Attorney Tom Yu, who was representing the officer who slammed the woman to the ground, was asked why the officer did what he did, and this is what he had to say pertaining to that question.
So that's within the department policy, and that's how many deputy sheriffs and police officers are trained by the state of California in dealing with essentially non-compliance.
So let me get this right. I'm going to play that clip again because I want you to hear what he's saying.
So that's within the department policy, and that's how many deputy sheriffs and police officers are trained by the
So
state
he's
of California.
saying that is the
dealing
department
with
policy for them to
essentially
slam her to the ground in order to take control of the situation. That's what I'm hearing him say. That he, in order for him to take control of this, or in order for the officers to gain control of a situation that they created by being aggressive from the start, that is called a takedown. And they are trained to do that in order to gain control of the situation. So he is basically saying that their job is to slam people on the ground, place their knee in the back of their neck to gain control. That's what he's saying. If that's the training that the state of California is dishing out to their officer, that is a shame. And they need to change that as soon as possible, ASAP. That is called excessive use of force, and it was unnecessary for him to slam her to the ground the way he slammed her to the ground and pushed her down on the ground, putting his knee on the back of her neck, pepper spraying her in her face. All of that is excessive use of force that was not necessary. It wasn't necessary. So if that is the training that they're giving their officers in the state of California, something must be done as soon as possible. And that is the fact. That's the fact.
You're listening to Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G.
Now, the community held a protest outside the Lancaster grocery store where this incident took place. Like I said, they want to see the two deputies involved in this incident fired. And they should be fired for that type of use of excessive force on any human being. I don't care what color you are. And how many times have they done this? Because this seemed to come natural to him. This wasn't just something that he decided to do on this particular day here. He's been doing this. This is just the day that he was recorded in court. But he's been doing this because he didn't give a F, and you heard him say it out of his own mind. So he was bold with it. So he didn't care. So yes, I feel that they should be terminated too, and she should sue. She should. My people, I'm just going to say this. Be careful in these streets. You have to see what is happening, what is taking place out in these streets. They are trying to take us back to slavery days, down in the South, the deep South, where they can just brutalize us and beat us and get away with it. They are beating us, paralyzing us, spraying us with mace, putting their knees in our neck, choking us, all these type of things they are doing, and they're getting away with it. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and that was a black officer who threw a white officer down to the ground, you better believe that his black ass would be locked up. No questions asked. No out on no leave. He would be locked up and charged probably already. So this is happening, and we have to be careful with this. We keep marching and protesting, and we need to keep marching and protesting. We can't stop, but we also need to stand in solidarity together. We have to stand together. We do, and stop fighting against each other and come together, because 5 to 10 years from now, we're in trouble already. So 5 to 10 years from now, it's going to be something else. It's happening now. It's happening right in front of our face. It is happening right now in front of our face. It really is. So we have to take care of ourselves and each other, take care of our families by any means necessary. Take care of the family, take care of the children by any means necessary. I'm going to do a follow-up show on this case. I'm just waiting for some more information to come out, and I'm going to do a follow-up show. Make sure to catch me every Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and like and share and comment as you see fit. Until the next time, take care of the family. Remember that it is never too late to bow down on your knees and pray to your Creator. Until the next time, take care of yourself and each other.
They shooting. They shooting. We want to thank everyone for tuning in. Check back every Sunday at 9 a.m. for new episodes. You can find us on Buzzsprout and Let's Talk About It, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Facebook at Amina G100. Until next time, be safe. You have been listening to Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G.
Let's talk about it with Amina G.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It, where we give it to you raw.
The podcast that deals with issues America needs to hear.
I mean, the more we talk to them about it, the more we fight about it, the more we march, the more we fight against it.
And you can find it just about anywhere online. You have no excuse not to listen. Find Let's Talk About It with Amina G on Spotify, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Facebook at Amina G100, Instagram at Amina_G, spell that G-E-E, and YouTube at Let's Talk About It with your host, Amina G. Email AminaGpodcast@gmail.com. There, if you can't find it now, that's on you. Let's Talk About It with Amina G. Listen to it anywhere.